Folks, welcome back to So Bad It's Good. Today, we have her back, one of the most dominant voices in pop culture. From her Instagram account, Deuxmoi, to her podcast, Do You, to her Apple and Google downloadable app, the Deuxmoi World app. You have the website as well. She's got a collab with Cookie Dough. She has a fragrance in Violet Gray. She has a book, Anon Please. And hopefully she still has the upcoming Max show, the one and only Deuxmoi. Welcome back.
Hi, how are you, Ryan? It's been so long.
I don't know. I feel like we talk maybe 2 or 3 times a year, and I don't know when the last time we talked is, but my God, I'm thrilled as always to talk to you because I feel like you're one of the only people that I'm getting kind of little burnt out on pop culture, and you are one of the people that make it still fun. I was listening to your most recent episode, and I was just kind of laughing along with it, and I just want, you have to get burnt out on pop culture sometimes.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I go to TikTok to be on vacation. That's where I go to scroll and
that was one of my questions is what is on Deuxmoi's TikTok feed, because I don't have a lot of Bravo. I have completely opposite than what I talk about on the show.
Oh my gosh, same. Well, I'm really into TJ Maxx TikTok right now.
Wait, is Deuxmoi a Maxinista?
No, I just love to watch these women go gaga over these. I don't want to insult anyone's taste, but I just love to watch them lose their minds at the finds that they come across at the different TJ Maxx locations. It's exhilarating. So that's been what I've been watching for hours every night. Also, there is this creator. I could give you his name. Maybe you've come across him, but he recaps Bethany Frankel's TikTok.
Deuxmoi, I was going to bring him up today because you provided him with the thrill of a lifetime this weekend.
Well, this is I almost need to start commenting under Finsta because I like to just blend in over there on TikTok, and then people are always like, Ariana, what are you doing here? Whenever they see me comment.
Wait, you just commented on your most recent podcast in regards to the White Lotus is why don't you have a Finsta and why don't you use it? Because you want other celebrities to use their Finsta.
I know. I don't know because I'm lazy. That's why I have Finstas on Instagram that I don't use ever because I rarely comment on random Instagram posts, but TikTok, if I see something that's trending and it's on my For You page, I like to watch it just like everyone else. So this creator, you could tell the story. Do you follow him or he just came up on your For You?
He came up on my For You, but now I'm kind of obsessed with him because I was explaining to the audience on Monday's show that this guy recaps Bethany Frankel's TikToks every day and how many she's deleted and how many. And then he was at I think he labeled it a gay birthday party the other night, and he stopped the party because there was breaking news that I believe you broke that Bethany Frankel moved to Florida to do a reality show about cleaning homes with Pitbull.
Well, okay, so this is the whole thing. So I stumbled across this. We should say his name because I feel like we're talking about him so much. I'm gonna find his name.
Yeah.
So I stumbled across his TikTok. He recaps all of Bethany's TikToks. She's actually blocked him.
I know. I was there.
Really
I remember seeing the video when she blocked him, and it was. But then he kept on keeping on. I'm glad he didn't quit.
That didn't stop him. So his name is Evan Lazarus. And what he does is he recaps her TikToks for the day. Sometimes she deletes up to 60, and I might be getting that number wrong, TikToks a week. And Evan even pointed out, the creator, I don't even make 16 TikToks in a month, he said. And
I can't even get the balls to make one a month. Yeah.
She is just...
She's playing that algorithm.
She is.
It's like gambling.
Exactly. And it's fascinating to me. So I stumbled across it, and he covered when she announced that she was moving to Miami. And I said to him, can you find out why she's moving? And he was like, isn't that your job? And I was like, in my head, I was like, I just come over here to relax. I don't want to come over to TikTok and do work. But so basically, after that interaction, somebody sent me an anonymous email saying that she was moving to Miami. Now, I think there's a lot of reasons that she's moving to Miami. I think.
Yeah, I heard it was because of her daughter at first for Bryn.
Well,
schooling.
She was living in Connecticut, and that house is not her house. It's Paul's house.
Oh.
Allegedly. Allegedly, that's Paul's
But she's
house.
not together with Paul anymore, right?
Right, but I think that he was probably allowing her to live there because Bryn was going to school. So maybe he wants to sell it. Maybe he said to her, your time here is up. So she had to make a move. And I'm assuming that's part of the reason why she's moving to Florida. Now, somebody sent me this email saying that she's part of the reason she's moving there is to do a reality show with Pitbull about cleaning. Now, I was wondering if it was somebody who had seen one of Evan's TikToks, my comment, and was just fucking with us. Because that sounds kind of ludicrous, Ryan.
No, it does. In fact, I talked about it as one of my stories on the Roundup today, was that, all those things I know, like Bethany Frankel, Pitbull, reality cleaning shows. But when you put them together, it seems like we're living in a simulation, that there is no, Pitbull and Bethany Frankel teamed up to help people clean their homes in Florida. That's truly an insane concept. Will I be watching? Of course. But we don't, so it's not 100% confirmed. This is just an anonymous source.
I almost thought that, like I said, somebody saw me commenting on Evan's TikTok because everyone was like, isn't it your job? Like, why don't you be finding this out? And they were fucking with me, and they sent in the anonymous tip about the show because it came in after I'd commented on Evan's TikTok. But at the same time, sometimes fiction is stranger than truth. So who the hell knows?
This is what... But also, this is what Superman must feel like if he was real, like the pressure you have to figure out all of these mysteries in regards to celebrity news. It's like your back must hurt from carrying pop culture on your back.
I mean, that's very nice of you, but...
Wait, Bethany Frankel hasn't reached out to you directly because she's very aware of all things Bethany, so I'm shocked she or like Pitbull's team?
She ignores me because I've very pointedly called her out on my podcast saying the man that you're dating is not a good guy. I've heard from women who he has recently, and this was her last public boyfriend. I forget his name. I think it was Tom. Women that have dated him recently, overlapping with you, have reached out to say he's not a good guy. Now, I think she eventually broke up with him, but I went on my podcast twice to sort of get that warning out into the universe, hoping she would hear, just as kind of like a, hey, heads up, girl. You know what I mean? I do that sometimes. Sometimes I'll do it privately to somebody, but I don't have a relationship with her. So I just put it on my podcast. I think she just ignores my existence. I also don't cover her that much. I find her fascinating. I find her a fascinating creature. I obviously have my own opinions and criticisms about how she is. I'm a huge New York City Housewives fan. I've watched every single one of her episodes multiple times. I'm very well versed in Bethany Frankel. So I think that I look at her more of, like you said, it's like a case study almost of reality.
To me, the Bethany Frankel, the peak of it for me was Life is Not a Cabaret, Luann, that monologue that she did on that season of Roni, her last season, I believe. To me, that was just such an iconic monologue. And then I feel like it's split from there, or my fandom has split from there, because I was such a fan of all of her spinoffs. I even have her book, A Place of Yes, signed by Bethany Frankel. And then I don't know, there's she wants to consume all. She wants to be a part of all. And I think that's amazing, but sometimes it's exhausting. And I don't know at the end of the day if she'll ever be able to fill the hole that exists within her. Does that make sense?
Right. Oh, 100%. I totally know exactly what you mean because, like I said, I'm OG fan. I've watched every episode multiple times. I totally know what you're saying. And I think that for her, I feel like she's chasing the success that she once had with Skinny Girl. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it's iconic. I mean, it really,
it's iconic, but she hasn't really landed it again. And I don't know what happened to Skinny Girl. Actually used to drink it all the time. And then it kind of went away. I don't know if you could even still buy it.
I mean, I'm always looking for that and for Ramona Singer's Pinot Grigio.
You'll never find that, Ryan.
Some wine collector has to have a couple extra bottles that they can sell me. It's got to be vintage at this point.
No, totally. But yeah, so I think she's trying to chase land that success again. And I don't know, maybe she'll do it with this reality show.
But have you noticed her fandom is split? A lot of her fandom now is from TikTok, and they don't even realize what an icon she was on Roni.
I think
Like they're a
all
fan
from
of what.
TikTok. I think they're
Yeah,
all
they're a
from
fan of
TikTok.
what she does now. So when we speak about it, it's like, how dare you speak against Bethany Frankel? And it's like, I'm not
Exactly.
speaking out against. It's just there was a different time and place that we kind of reminisce about.
Oh, 100%. I also think she's kind of changed as a person a little
Yeah.
bit.
Well,
So
how can this life not change you?
exactly. She very famously said to Heather, "Well, maybe I'm a know-it-all," and I think that that's only intensified
Yeah.
on her with her TikTok persona, that she, comes across a little bit as a knower of all.
Yeah.
Um,
From chicken salad to
yeah,
cleaning houses.
exactly, which is fine, but I don't know, it rubs people the wrong way, and I see that.
Yeah. You also had a bunch of tips recently, and I wanted to throw in this as well because I was at Chili's in a Covina, and I bumped into Travis Kelce and Taylor
Ha
Swift.
ha ha
And I
ha.
wanted to report this side. No, could you tell the audience there's like a TGI Friday gate where a bunch of people reported to you that there was a Travis Kelce Taylor Swift spotting at TGI Fridays. Is that correct?
Yeah, it wasn't a bunch of people. It was one psycho person who I think is part of the Gaylor community, and that community believes that Taylor Swift is gay, and
Wait, we're
that
still doing Gaylor stuff?
yeah, oh yeah, that's who planted that. So
Oh,
basically, I mean, listen, it was my own fault for reporting it, but I really trusted this person because they went so far as to create a fake email address. That's how I got the copy of the receipt. So basically, somebody sent in an anonymous citing that Taylor and Travis were at TGI Fridays in Kansas City. Okay. I wouldn't have posted that. Okay. They included a real email address in the citing through my website. You could submit
yeah.
tips. Some people include a real email address and some people don't. They did. And I emailed them. So to me, like, to go that extra step and create a fake email is like psychotic. So then I said to them, "Oh, I would love to know what they ordered." And they were like, "Oh, I could probably figure that out for you." And then 2 days later, they produced a receipt, which to me looked like a real receipt. They
Was
went
the
so
receipt
far.
insane? Like, did they like pig out in the receipt?
They had a lot of drinks, which I later found out from the Swifties, because the Swifties and the Gaylors are not the same. I later found out from the Swifties, because I think there is a rumor, and I think this is like an ever persistent rumor when it comes to Taylor, that her and Travis, will be getting married and starting a family soon. So they added a lot of drinks to this receipt, if you catch my drift, why
Yeah,
they
yeah,
did
yeah,
that. Right.
yeah.
So I was told later by a Swiftie that they did that on purpose to prove that, like,
She's not.
she's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't catch it because I don't think like a psychotic person. So that's the only thing that was the red flag, was the amount of alcohol that was consumed. Everything else was like normal. Like, they put chicken fingers on the menu. Taylor's
Yeah.
known to like chicken fingers.
Who doesn't? Wait, but who doesn't like chicken fingers? Like, is
Well,
there?
I
I mean,
mean,
I think
she's been
everybody.
right, but it's known, I think, within the fandom that she likes it. And I knew that. I don't know why I fucking knew that. Like, kill me right now that I know that she likes chicken fingers, but I knew it. So I was like, oh, this is kind of believable. So they photoshopped a receipt. I didn't post it. I only talked about it on my podcast because, again, like, I don't know. It was just all too easy and all too good
Yeah.
to be true. And then they later came out on Twitter, because a lot of these dark, parts of the fandoms don't live on Instagram. They live on Tumblr and Twitter. And the person came out on Twitter and admitted to faking it.
Wow. I didn't know if like Tree Pain had to like tell you she wasn't at Chili's. Like, I didn't know if it got that far. So
No.
so that's really fascinating. And what a bizarre little nugget of rumor there to like make it a TGI Fridays. Like, I so wish it was true. That's why it was good.
Well, that's why, listen, I thought it was believable because they had been seen at, what's that place? Del Frisco's. They were seen at Del Frisco's by the paparazzi. There were pictures of them walking into Del Frisco's in New York City in February, I believe. So I thought to myself, oh, they like to dine high-low. Like Del
Yeah.
Frisco's is a chain. It's not like really a TGI Fridays. It's nicer, but still, I thought like, they like to go to like Michelin star restaurants and they'll hit up a chain. Like they're just like normal people. So that's what I thought was like kind of cool about the sighting, but it winded up being fake. So obviously I called them out on it, like, because they're psychotic for
And they're
even
like,
going
ha
to
ha,
these
I
lengths.
got you, Deuxmoi. Ha ha.
Well, I mean, I gives them some sort of like weird
Story.
thrill, and like I don't know, their lives must be that pathetic to get such a rush from sending in a
Yeah.
fake sighting, which I later said was fake. When I found out it was
Yeah.
fake a day later, I said, "Hey guys, this is fake." It's not like I went along with it.
But you said in your most recent episode, they're having more of a quiet summer. And I said this like a month ago. I said, do you hear that? That's the sound of no Taylor Swift news this week. And I thought it was really kind of refreshing because after you tour for that many years and you don't win the Super Bowl, you're going to want to take a step back. So I love that they're actually taking a step back.
Yeah, well, I think he's training. I honestly do think that whether or not he was going to retire was up in the air, dependent on whether or not they won the Super Bowl. I had heard that, and the things that he was saying leading up to it was kind of hinting at it. And then I think when they lost the Super Bowl in the way that they lost, such a big loss, he even said like he can't go out like that. Like that's not how he wants to be remembered, or that's not how he wants to end his career. So I think that once that was decided, he has to train this whole time. So I think he's training, and
Well, that's why he shouldn't be eating at TGI Fridays. No offense to TGI Fridays.
I think they still like go out to dinner a lot, but I think she's writing music, she's working on a new album, and he's just training. They're working, they're still working.
Your podcast was so fun this week, and you were bringing up the Bodyguard remake, which years ago you had heard that Channing Tatum and Cardi B was to be a part of, and then I'd read an article this weekend that I had talked about where they had said Taylor Swift was up for that role as well, but then that Kim Kardashian was making a play for that, which would be insane.
God, how silly.
I mean, there's just no way that would ever be possible in any, like, just in terms of like pure singing voice that Whitney Houston had, or Taylor, or even Cardi B, if you wanted to kind of finagle the script a little bit. But there's no way. But then I was like, Kim Kardashian is, doing the Ryan Murphy show, All's Fair. She's like the lead or the anchor of that show. And Glenn Close is in that show. It's like heavy hitters. So you never know. And that's what my other question to you was. Other than that, I feel like the Kardashians have been like more quiet than usual. Are they more quiet, or are we just losing interest?
Well, I want to talk about the Taylor Swift bodyguard rumor because I didn't actually address this because no one has asked on my account. But I did ask someone, and they said, quote, absolutely false, not true at all. She has zero acting plans in the future. If she does do anything cinematic, it will be more behind the scenes. So
okay, that's in regards to Taylor Swift. If she were to do that,
that's in regards to Taylor Swift, because somebody did send me a screenshot of the headline, and I sent it to somebody. I said, "Is this fucking true? Like, this is crazy." And that was their response. Nobody on my account has asked me about it, so I didn't bring it up. But I just wanted to address it since you brought it up.
Yeah.
The Kardashians.
I could see her directing real easily, though. I mean, she's already directed the All Too Well music video. Like, 100. I want to see her. I mean, I bet she directs some kind of secret project next.
Oh, 100%. Yes, but not acting in front of the camera. Yeah. So any rumors you guys hear about her taking the part and Kim trying to take it away from her, that is like such fucking BS. Do not believe that, you guys. Like, that is not true.
Yeah.
As far as the Kardashians, like, listen, like, if you follow the Kardashians or if you're on TikTok, they still have a huge fan base. Like, just look at the comments, look at the reach they still have.
They're never going. I mean, they're so ensconced. But I'm just termed like that white hot heat that they have had in certain past years.
Yeah, people still ask me weekly about Kim, Khloe, and Kendall's dating lives. Weekly, I get asked. So I do think that there is an interest, and I think that they're not stupid. Like, let's say Kim started dating like a well-known actor. Forget it. Like, then it would be all eyes on what the Kardashians are doing. So I think they're just deciding to lay low.
They're lying in wait. I was scared that Kim was going to date like Elon Musk or something.
Oh God, I hope not. No, I think personally that she has her hands full with the whole Kanye situation and managing her children with that as well. The paparazzi has pictures of him back with Bianca Censori last week.
I mean, you saw his tweets today. I mean,
I don't follow him on Twitter. What is he ranting about?
I mean, this is a major trigger warning, but he was talking about fooling around with his cousin when he was younger.
Oh my God.
Oral sex, and it was completely unhinged. I mean, but then you just don't know like what's for attention, and as the years go by, you just start caring less and less. It's just a voice that you tune out, which is so unfortunate because there is real mental health issues there.
Yes.
But it has become so like I don't care if he's with Bianca still. Like I know there were pictures this weekend, but that there's zero interest in that for me, like at all.
Yeah, I don't really cover that. I covered him and her on the red carpet at the Grammys because, they did something disruptive. And I thought it was worth covering. But besides that, I don't. And people were upset. They're like, why are you giving him a platform? Why are you giving it attention?
I mean, that was the Grammys moment with her naked. So I understand that. But there's something different every day. And it is so weird to have been a real huge Kanye fan, and now to see where he's at. But at the same time, you have to move on with life. And, he has you just hope he has good people around him, which, by the way, Coachella just ended their second weekend. And you were talking about this, but I wanted to see, it's kind of a little bit of a bit on the show, but I just talk about how worried I am about Justin Bieber all the time and these ruffians he's hanging out with, because he was at Coachella for like 2 weekends in a row. And then we have footage of him this weekend where he was like vibing, but it also seemed like his friend was like holding him up.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how many tips you still get about Justin and if he's okay, because Haley seems like a babysitter at times.
I get a lot of emails and DMs about Justin, but I wouldn't say that they were tips. It was mainly it's either a sighting or it's a fan giving their opinion on the situation. It's not
anybody in the camp.
It's not anybody in the camp. It's not even anybody once removed from the camp. It's just all, unless I reach out to somebody specific and say like, hey, what's going on with Justin Bieber? But I already know what's going on with Justin Bieber, and I've reported on it several times. People still, I don't want to take that, into consideration when they see him like this. Now, Can
you remind people of what you've said in the past?
Yeah, I said that he is, dealing with trauma. I said that when all the Diddy stuff came out, that reignited a lot of issues for him. And I also most recently had said, which I had heard from a source, is that he was also dealing with becoming a father for the first time. And that was bringing up certain emotions, and specifically being a father to a son, and the things that he dealt with becoming a child celebrity. Because think about it, I think we forget how old Justin Bieber really was when he became famous. He was young. He was really young. I think he might have been younger than a teenager.
Well, we always talk about that, the age at which you hit your fame, you kind of freeze in that age, that arrested development.
Yes.
And it doesn't really allow you to grow past that. So you'll have like great strides or great moments, but you always kind of revert to that childlike or whatever age you became famous at.
I mean, I don't know if he's necessarily reverting to childlike behavior. I think that he's most likely, and this is just my assumption, I have no idea. I think he's probably, using different substances. We see him smoke weed, openly, to, deal with trauma that he's experienced throughout his life. And that's what I think is happening. And I think Haley's probably trying to deal with it as best as she can. She's obviously a very devoted wife, even though fans try to create drama for them and their marriage. And you see headlines about their marriage that really, I think personally, is derived from the fans and the chatter online. Because we saw him at Sexy Red's birthday, and fans were like even asking me like, what did you think of, when he kissed Sexy Red? And I said, didn't he kiss her on the cheek? Like, you
Yeah, I
guys,
mean,
grow the fuck up. Like, come
well,
on.
but that's the thing. It's like after like decades of like following this stuff, you do kind of get like, oh, come on, like we've been here before. I mean,
It's like, give me a break.
But we just talked about Kanye and Justin. It's like two men that have probably gone through massive trauma in their lives, and these women that try to prop them up in some way. And it doesn't take away from their trauma, but especially with Justin, I have like this great concern about him because you're just like, where does this end up? Because it's not like the magnifying glass is going to magically, go off of his life. It's not going to disappear ever.
No, I mean, listen, I'm not a psychiatrist and I'm not a doctor, but I would think that the first step in dealing is becoming completely sober. And I don't mean California sober. I mean completely sober, because
shout out Demi Lovato. Woo!
It must be very hard you can't think clearly, even when you're like weed from, high from weed. So how can he even process or deal with anything he's going through when he's probably, constantly has a clouded mind. So that's what I think he probably would need to do. I don't know, like, if that would require going away to rehab. I don't know if people around him have tried and he's just not into the idea. But it's hard. It's really hard when and I don't know if you've ever experienced this, Ryan, but if you have a friend or a loved one who is addicted or under the influence and it's affecting their life in a negative way, it's hard for them to get help unless they really want to. So,
and then especially when people are making money off of you or you're providing for people, it's just such a slippery slope then, I would imagine. Recently, I just finished this really amazing a biography on Lorne Michaels, the guy who created SNL. And I was thinking about, I've become really kind of obsessed lately about people that have built something. And I feel like you're one of those people. You've actually built something from the ground up when it was, just you to what you are doing now. And how many years into this are you now?
5.
Just 5?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. I was thinking about Lorne Michaels because he did like the first 5 seasons of SNL. And then he walked away from it. He walked away and tried to do something else. And then he came back, I think 4 or 5 years later till now, like the 50th anniversary. But I was just thinking, like, there's only a few people that, like, I think Andy Cohen built something. I think you've built something. And that really says a lot. But I always think, is there this pressure to create, and then this pressure to potentially, like, have a life as well? I always ask you this every time you come on, is that is there retirement plans at some point? Because you're like Daft Punk, like anybody. I mean, we know your voice, but like, we don't know who's, like anybody could put those robot masks on and potentially be Daft Punk. Anybody could be Deuxmoi. Like, I mean, I don't mean anybody has your talent, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I met Jeff Lewis in person.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he had to sign an NDA through your lawyer, the whole thing.
He did. So it's like, I'm not adverse to. I think people have a misconception that I'm like hiding, and I always say this, and that that was never the case. It was always just a protection of my identity because I had a job at the same time that I started this, and 2 years into it, I was working a full-time job and doing this at the same time. So it was mainly to protect my identity because I didn't want to get fired. And then once I left my job and started doing this full-time, it just became part of the brand.
Yeah, I like it. I like that I don't. I like that I don't see you. I like that. I mean, there is something, I don't know, there's a mystique there that I still really enjoy. And I think it does give you some level of privacy still.
Yeah, for sure. But it also hinders things that I can be doing that I'm not, could.
So would you say that we might be doing like a reveal like soon?
No. No, not at this point. I think I might have said.
What if you did it on the So Bad It's Good podcast? How huge that would be for me if you just threw it all away for this.
Well, I think I said on your show actually a long time ago that I would do it for money. I think I said that.
Oh, well, it's not going to be this show then.
No, I'm just saying, like, in general, like, I would do it for money, but I think
Oh my God, The Masked Singer. You be on The Masked Singer and then you unveil that way.
Well, I think I told you, didn't I tell you I was working on a project where I had offered to be on camera if they had paid me more money? and they didn't want that. They wanted me to stay anonymous. They liked that part of it. So
yeah.
No, I don't have any plans for anything. I only look to like the day ahead or like maybe a few weeks ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got the Met Gala in 2 weeks, so you got to look ahead to that. You got, I mean, there's big things happening.
I mean, listen, like I said, like I don't get from these big shows and, you know, these big award shows and these big events, I don't get nothing crazy happens. Like that's why I read like all these blind items and I'm like, this has to be bullshit. Like all the blind items from the Golden Globes and the Grammys, like celebrities are not out there in public doing half the shit that these blind items are saying they're doing. So I don't really get that kind of intel. For the Met Gala, people want to know who's attending before they see them on the red carpet. So that's as little of information I'll get. At the actual Met Gala, I mean, I don't think anything crazy happens inside. I've never heard of anything crazy happening inside, ever.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would imagine not on Anna Wintour's watch.
Hell no.
I mean, do you have any information if Timothy and Kylie will be walking together at the Met?
I don't. I'm hoping I hear their names because what I get is I'll get a bunch of names from various different people. I never get like the whole list from one person. And I used to get a picture of the list the day of before they started walking down the carpet. But last year, I think, and I posted it one year. So last year, I think they cracked down on that. But no, I'm hoping I'll see their names pop up in one of the batches of names I get from the various different people I get names from.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't yet.
I mean, I think you had a bunch of maybe tips or just saying that Kylie and Timothy looked really loved up at Coachella, which was interesting because I've seen like that popped up on my TikTok of them at Charlie XCX and people were like,
they're in love.
But somebody was like, he doesn't look too happy. And I'm like, dude, that's like one moment out of a 90-minute concert.
No,
where he just looked to the side.
That's just fans being jealous and projecting. They are in love. Like I've heard from several people. They're in love. Like
I'm guessing you're talking about Kris Jenner. You've heard from Kris Jenner directly.
Yes, exactly. My weekly meeting, my weekly call.
Wait, did you see A Complete Unknown? Did you see him in the Bob Dylan film?
I didn't yet. Is it good?
Yeah, he was excellent. I was just curious if you make sure you see all of these things. And I was always wondering, we've talked about this many times, like what you were watching, what you watched. Because obviously I think you watched The White Lotus, right?
I watched The White Lotus. I'm watching The Last of Us. Do you watch that?
Did you watch last night?
I fucking did. Are you kidding me?
Motherfucker. I had to go to Jeff Lewis and I was like, I'll put this on before I went to sleep. It kept me up. Like it really rocked my night. Did you have a tip going into this?
No, and I'm not. And then I went to Twitter. I'm like, I need to see what the people are saying, and they're all like, "Oh, all the gamers already knew." Oh, ha ha ha.
I don't play the game. I had no clue. I don't play the video game this is based on, and also it does make sense because Pedro Pascal has done so many films this year that I'm like, well, that now makes sense in terms of shooting schedule. But I was rocked, and I was so pissed. Like I almost wrote a nasty fan letter to Max, going, "How dare you?" People were like, it's the Red Wedding from Game of Thrones. I'm like, fuck Game of Thrones. This is The Last of Us. This is ridiculous. And that Caitlin Dever is an amazing actor, but like, I'm pissed at her now too.
Same. I had the same feelings. I'm so upset. I thought it was fucking bullshit. I almost thought I was like in the last, and this is a spoiler alert. I think
guys, I'll make a timestamp so you can skip past this.
So I'm gonna say that like the whole time I was like this to myself. I was like, this isn't really happening. Like something's gonna happen. Yeah, or like he's gonna jump. Like something's gonna happen. Someone's gonna come in and kill them. Like no, absolutely no. I was like, is this a fucking joke?
I was livid.
I was livid.
Too. And, it was, if I can take a step back, it was a brilliant episode, but at the same time, I'm like, I still don't give a shit. Like, give him back. I can see how movies like Misery gets made because I'm like, put him back in the show right now. You have time to correct this.
Well, I read an article where they said something along the lines of his presence will still be, felt.
Oh, Will we get like Ghost? Will we get Ghost him?
I don't
my
know,
God.
but that made me even more mad. I was like,
I don't want Ghost him.
I know.
That shit pissed me off in Yellow Jackets as well. Did you watch Severance this season? Were you a Severance head?
I don't watch Severance, but I know people are obsessed. I think I need to
love
watch.
it.
I tried watching the first season, and then I lost interest.
See, it might annoy like certain people. It's just not. I don't know. I don't want to like. Shows come to you when they come to you. Do you do Black Mirror? I just finished watching the new season of that.
I don't do Black Mirror. I watched. I did watch Paradise.
Oh, I loved Paradise. I thought that was great.
Paradise was good. I was late to this, but I watched Rivals on Hulu.
Wait, what is Rivals?
It's a British show. It's so good, Ryan. It's more of like a comedy, but not like really. It's like a dark comedy, I guess. It's so good. It's so fucking good. It was one of the best TV shows I thought of the year. It's just really good.
So Rivals, I'm going to write that down. And then The Pit, I'm halfway through and I'm enjoying The Pit.
People love that. It's too
But there's
boring.
just there's so much television right now, but I am kind of appreciating scripted television a little more than reality television these days because it's so hard to like reinvent the wheel in terms of reality television. Like we just had the new season of The Valley. Are you doing The Valley at all? Are you watching? Because I know you only watch certain reality shows and you tend to go to older shows.
Yeah, no, I'm not watching The Valley. I haven't watched Summer House in years. I don't know. Like I feel like I love the OGs, but I feel like some of the new cast members, they're just like seem very thirsty.
Jesse Solomon, we're talking to you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm talking to I
don't know a lot about him, but what I know of him, it seems like there's some thirst level there that the OG cast members never had. Like Kyle and Carl, like if you remember back to the beginning of when Summer House started, however many seasons ago.
Almost 10.
The guys were different, right? Am I right? I don't know. I don't watch. I could be totally.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I don't think they knew what success or even Instagram success was. And I think Jesse Solomon and Wes Wilson, to a degree, the new people, and Imrul, they've come in. And I think Jesse specifically, like he knew who that Lexi girl was going in. And Lexi had dated like the Beckham kid and Drake and a couple of other people. And he kind of love bombs her, but now he's trying to like talk his way out of it. And he's really charming. And I just think he's a really horny dude that likes attention, which is perfect for reality television in some way, but it's different from when the show started.
You know what they remind me of? They remind me of Bachelor contestants. And I don't think that's what Summer House needs, you know? So, because like I said, the OGs are, I feel like, more laid back. And these new guys.
You think Lindsay Hubbard is laid back?
No, I don't mean laid back. I mean, just
I know you.
I mean, laid back, like like how they handle their fame and stuff.
That's what I was going to ask you is like, you don't watch the show, but there's a lot of times where Paige and Sierra will be bed rotting with Amanda Batula with their phones. And I was like, I wonder how many DMs they have sent to Deuxmoi on that bed in the Summer House. Like I bet they have sent you DMs from the Summer House. Like I'm almost positive.
Well, I mean, somebody asked me this recently. Any Summer House cast member correspondences I have had have never been about really gossip. I'm going to say it. Like, they don't, if they're submitting, it's from either a Finsta or it's through anonymous email. They're not DMing me gossip
about gossip. They're just DMing like LOL
or whatever, like whatever we're talking about. Like, who knows, you know, it
makeup.
Usually, or they'll message me about something to correct about themselves. Like Carl has done that. But it's never to talk shit about their cast members. It's never to like plant something. They don't use their real accounts. So I can never say for sure if they're submitting or not submitting.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was just wondering. Like when they're in bed, I'm like, I bet they're like DMing Deuxmoi right now.
I mean, maybe we're like chatting, but not like about what's going on at Summer House.
Do we have any intel on the Love on the Spectrum cast, Deuxmoi? Have you watched Love on the Spectrum?
I
live in fear of bad news about them.
Oh, I would never, even if I got it. But I only see that one guy on TikTok. I forget his name. The
long hair, the metal singer?
No, he's like a preppy kid. His mom's like blonde.
Oh, Connor?
Maybe, I don't know.
No, yeah. But you see him.
Oh, the guy who was on the Kelly Clarkson show who loved Jack Black.
Yeah. Oh my.
Can't
Why
think of
am I
his name.
blanking on his name all of a sudden? It's Anyways, yeah, he's
He's the only one I
truly
know.
amazing.
Yeah. I don't watch, but I
You
watch him on
don't?
TikTok. No,
Oh,
it's cute,
if you want
right?
to believe in life, like, or just, I
That's
don't know,
okay.
just.
I don't need to believe in this.
I don't need to believe. I don't know. It just makes me feel so good. And then the other one I was asking because we just had the return of The Rehearsal on HBO Max. Did you ever get anything about Nathan Fielder, which I know is like a left of center one?
Oh, the comedian?
Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing like crazy. Like who he was dating someone. I don't know if they're still dating. He's exactly like he is in real life as he is on TV, like that kind of stuff.
Do you have anything from like I went and saw the movie Sinners this weekend with Ryan
Oh.
Coogler directed and Michael B. Jordan, and I thought it was excellent. And I didn't know if you had anything recently about Michael B. Jordan.
I don't. I mean, people always want to know if he's dating. He's pretty
Yeah.
low key with his dating life. He was spotted by the paparazzi. I think it was, or maybe it was Anthony Mackie. Anthony Mackie is the one that you do not approach in public. He does not like being
Yeah, I
approached in
heard that.
public by fans. But Michael B. Jordan is fine. No, people just want to know about his dating life. He dates Michael B. Jordan. I'm talking about not Anthony
Yeah.
Mackie also dates. I sometimes get them confused because they're both like very attractive and single. So sometimes I'll get because I think they're both single because I do get like, oh, my sister went out on a date with Michael B. Jordan in like January, and then someone will be like, oh, I saw Anthony Mackie out on a date in New Orleans. But nothing like
But
nothing
I
that's
love
like
that they're not
coming.
messy. Like I love that you don't really know a lot about their dating lives. Like
I
Michael
know,
B.
it's
Jordan,
just
I
like
love that movie so much that it's like I love when people are kind of just work focused and you don't. Like I mean, I guess the last time I've heard about Michael B. Jordan was when she was dating Lori Harvey.
yeah,
Yeah.
Lori Harvey was dating Damson Idris, and they're like on and off, on and off. So that's who she went to after Michael B. Jordan, but he hasn't been linked to anybody notable since her. I think that he dates, and this is also why I get sometimes confused too. They date normies,
Yeah.
which we love. We love
everybody. You're in luck. They
Yeah,
date normies.
exactly.
This is great.
No, and I don't even think that he's on Raya. I don't think Michael B. Jordan has ever been seen on
Oh,
Raya.
that would be an abuse. Is John Mayer still on? Right? I'm going to go see
Yes.
I'm going to go see Dead and Company this Friday for my birthday in Vegas.
That'll be
and
fun.
Yeah, but he's still on Raya.
Yeah, he is. But everyone's like, oh, his profile says just for friends because that's what it says. And I'm like, okay.
Well, how does this
well,
guy need any more friends? Like, I think he's
like-
good on Friends, don't you?
It's just so silly. It's just you're on Raya. Why do you even have to? Why do you even have to choose? Why do you even have to toggle that option? Like untoggle it immediately.
Just for friends.
Yeah.
And so they know, though. They know going in that this is just a beautiful friendship we're about to have.
You know what? John Mayer may be so smart that he was probably like, my profile is going to leak because it has several times and people are going to talk about what I have posted here. So let me just say, I'm here just for friends.
It would be great if he had that typical guy where he's just holding up a fish. And,
No, he doesn't. I've seen his profile. It's not.
Is it him on stage at the Sphere with a guitar and stuff?
No, it wasn't last time I saw it. Maybe he's updated it, but no, it wasn't that either. Who I heard that he hooked up with like a couple months ago was Kristen Cavallari.
Well, I heard Craig did before the Natalie Buffett. Did you hear that as well?
I didn't. Did that rumor come from the fact that he was at her live show?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I never heard that. But
John Mayer, wow. I feel like he would steer away from any kind of high profile hookups, but I guess
it's a very interesting pairing because they seem so opposite, like personality wise.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I mean, you had exclusive photos of Craig and Natalie Buffett. I just saw today, and Craig is dealing with his heartache of Pedro Sorbo and has found a new girl. And then you also had what I thought were these exclusive photos of Kristen Stewart's wedding yesterday?
Yeah, no, they weren't exclusive. I think that they were probably
It looked like somebody was in a tree.
they were they were published yesterday. Maybe by the Daily Mail because they were on freeze. Like the rest of the clients couldn't post them until 11 a.m. today. So I think
they'll be on they'll be on a site, but you can't post until a certain time because somebody has exclusive.
Yeah, so people ask me this question all the time. I think it's so funny that people are interested in this. Yeah, so if something says exclusive, that means that a publication has bought the licensing rights to those pictures exclusively for 24 hours and nobody else can publish them. Sometimes I'll buy an exclusive, but sometimes I'll split it with another publication. So that's why like if you see me say exclusive, but you also see it on TMZ or People, like we're splitting it. We're splitting the exclusive. These Kristen Stewart pictures, I didn't see them anywhere. I don't know who had them first, but when I opened up the Backgrid website this morning, it said that that we were not allowed to post them until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. So that means that somebody else must have had them exclusively yesterday. So I didn't have the exclusive, but the pictures are out there. She was married at a restaurant and it was very open because people were saying, oh, these are so intrusive. But and this is why I included the aerial view of the restaurant. Like it was very open, the backyard of this restaurant. Like if she didn't want to be seen by anyone, I would think that she would have been more enclosed.
Oh, big time. Yeah. It was at a TGI Fridays in the Valley.
That's the exclusive.
I was thinking about that though, because then I went down a rabbit hole last night of thinking about the Robert Pattinson relationship back in the day and all of the rumors and the stuff around that relationship during the Twilight franchise, and to see her now happily married and to see Robert Pattinson with his lady and has a kid now. And I just thought, how nice that everybody is kind of somewhat happy in relationships.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson and Suki Waterhouse. There's also paparazzi pictures of them floating around from this weekend, yesterday or today, or in New York City. They're like loved up, and their baby is so cute. I've seen what the baby looks like. I don't know if any publication has posted the pictures, but they're on like I said, the Backgrid website, and it's such a
Can you imagine if those are your parents and then you turn out to be an ugly baby? Like, there's no way that baby would ever be ugly. Those are beautiful people.
Well, I don't know. I've seen like in life, like beautiful people have not such cute babies, but then the baby will grow up to be beautiful. Like, have you seen that happen? Because that's
yes. Well, I've seen that. You see the beautiful one, and then they get to the awkward phase, and then they go back to beautiful.
Right, but they start off as like not a cute baby, but they're beautiful adults. Like I feel like I've seen that.
That's great. No, totally. You also posted I don't know if this was an exclusive, but I saw it on yours, was Tom Cruise and Austin Butler hanging out.
That was exclusive. Yes. But that was So I received a sighting that in March, the end of March, that Tom Cruise and Austin Butler were spotted at the River Cafe in London having dinner. I don't know if it was a meeting. I don't know if they're friends. And then coincidentally, one of my readers saw on somebody else's account, random account, in a photo dump of somebody's trip to London, that it was them at the restaurant in the background of this person's picture. So they sent it to me and they were like, dude, this is your sighting. So I messaged the person. I said, do you mind if I use this picture? I had the sighting. I just didn't have a photo to go with it. And they said, yeah, no problem. So dude, that's how I got the picture.
Well, he mentors all those young actors. Like he did with Glenn Powell. And, so it's really interesting because he's so intense. But I predict that Travis Kelce will be in the next Top Gun.
You know what? I would not be surprised. Well, see, this is what I had heard. When I had heard that he was thinking about retiring, I really thought that he would go right from football into an acting career. I really think that he enjoys acting. I think that was potentially the plan if they had won the Super Bowl and he was able to retire. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's in some more projects, this year. He
was a great host on that Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grade? I think at the Amazon show. He was in a really good host. I was kind of shocked how good he was. So I mean, it's obvious that that's where where he's going to go after this season. So I think he'll do great.
Yeah. So hopefully, they win the Super Bowl this year. He could retire and then he could start his acting career. We could see him and stuff. I think that'd be really cool. He's a charismatic speaker every time you see him.
No, I think he's going to be okay. Now, you talked about on this recent podcast, and this I'm kind of fascinated with, and maybe the audience they're not aware of this, but White Lotus just finished, and you talked a lot about the Walter Goggins, Amy Lee Wood relationship. They played the couple on White Lotus, you guys, and they did follow each other on Instagram, and then they unfollowed each other on Instagram, but I think Walter Goggins, didn't he do like a whole Instagram tribute to her at one point with like the Silver Springs song from Fleetwood Mac?
Uh, I think so. I didn't see it, but I didn't see what you're talking about, but I did see a couple of posts where she's mentioned or he talks, very fondly about
Lovingly, yeah.
his time, filming this. And yeah, I mean, listen, the rumors are out there. I'm not the only one who has heard them. Only they know the truth of what actually happened. I mean, I
Because
think
there
what
was just rumors of a relationship, and he actually talks about, he said, I was in a very lonely place and we just bonded very instantly in terms of their relationship at first. And he talks all the time about, the preparation for this was so intense. And I know it's silly because it's just acting, but they all take it so seriously, but they don't follow each other on Instagram anymore. And people do have questions.
I mean, I don't know. I could just go by what I heard as far as the rumors. And I mean, allegedly something did go down and he, was really, I think people have it twisted. And I actually had it twisted too until I talked to a couple of people. Like, I think he was really into her. And that's why she unfollowed him. If you
Wow.
get my drift.
Yeah, I get, yeah, no. But also you took a hard stand because she was kind of poked fun at in the White Lotus on SNL, the White POTUS. And you were like, I don't think it's funny when looks are the part of your joke, because she kind of got upset with Sarah Sherman's portrayal of her. And you're like, that kind of comedy doesn't work for me at all, which I thought was really interesting to have like that hardline stance, which I thought was also kind of correct because she got her feelings hurt because they did like these like huge teeth on her that Sarah Sherman did the imitation. And she said, yeah, it was a low blow and it hurt.
Yeah, I didn't think it was funny. I think that she got to the point and like shame on the media and shame on interviewers. She probably got asked about her teeth so many times during the promotion of this movie that good for her for finally being like what the, like
When
it's
you
not
see
that big of a
sometimes she'll
fucking
now
deal.
like close her mouth instead of
I'm
smiling.
sure.
Like, and I just thought, is that result of this?
It has to be. I mean, maybe even if she's not doing it consciously, like I'm sure it's in the back of her mind. And what a shame that people and the public had to make this talented, beautiful young actress feel this way.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
And by the way, yeah, but I think you said, but like beautiful actress as well. Like
oh yeah.
she's like undeniably
Well,
beautiful.
everyone says
So
that. That's the thing. Like,
yeah,
no one's saying that she's not beautiful. So then what's the fucking big deal? And why are you pointing out like that she has a gap in her tooth or whatever? Her
yeah,
teeth aren't, to your beauty standards, but everything else is. It doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
But
Pick
yeah,
on
I
Walton
mean,
Goggins' hairline if you're going to do that.
well, exactly. I will point your listeners into a direction if they want to know more on Amy and Walton. There is an article on my website, Deuxmoi.world. And at the end of the article, there is a blind item that was retold to me multiple times at this point. When I first received it, it was an anonymous email. And since then, I've received multiple DMs about this specific instance that is detailed at the bottom of the most recent White Lotus article on the website.
So I'm going to put the link to that, and also, can we do this through the app as well, or is this just on the website?
No, it's just on the website.
Okay, so I'm going to put both, you guys, but we can go to the bottom and it'll tell us this specific instance.
Yeah, if you guys want like a little bit
Yeah, we
of
want,
like
yes.
juicy gossip about those two, read the bottom of that article.
As we wind down here, have you gotten any new casting news in terms of like White Lotus next season or The Traitors or anything like that, or even Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which just finished its latest season?
No, I don't really ever get anything on The Traitors. I'm not really sure why. What production company does that? Do you know?
Well, I mean, it's NBC Universal Peacock, but it's like it's an overseas production company because it's a UK based show.
That might be why. Okay, because
Yeah.
I never get anything on The Traitors. White Lotus. Somebody did send in a very long email about quote unquote, intel about next season. I don't know if it was just a fan, speculating, or if it was legit because it sounded believable, but who the hell knows? I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly what it said, but if your listeners want me to repost it, I will. And then Housewives, no. I mean, I just heard that they're still I'm sorry, not they're still auditioning for New York. I know that I talked about a new franchise that I had heard that was coming out with
DC, right?
No, it's not DC. Oh. With a housewife from another franchise. So I heard that a new city was launching.
Oh, that's what you and Andy were going back and forth about, right?
Yes, and that they were taking a housewife from an existing franchise that's not in production right now, and she was moving to this new city. Now, Andy acted like he didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah, he went on the radio show and was like acting like it.
Well, I mean, I don't understand. I told him I saw something with my own eyes that said this. Like, it's not even like somebody just told me. Like, I saw documentation of this. And I told him this, and he was kind of like, oh, well, it could be nothing. And I'm like, yeah, totally. It totally could be nothing, or it could be real. And I think that it's going to rock everyone's world kind of, because it means something. What it means to me more is, what does that mean for the future of this specific franchise that's not in production right now? And I'm sure you could yeah.
In fact, I'm so tired right now that I think I know, and I think I've forgotten it because this was like a month ago. But I remember reading speculation at the time, so I've got to refresh my memory after this. But yeah, well, I mean, have you heard anything about, like, in terms of New York, if Lindsay Hubbard would be considered for Real Housewives of New York?
That's where I was going with this. So everyone thought that I was talking about Lindsay moving from Summer House to New York, and no, I have not heard that. I know she was at Erin and Abe's.
I was DMing with Abe today because I think he's coming on next week, and we were talking about Dead and Company because he's a big jam band guy.
Yes.
But I was just wondering where they are in casting of Roni, and if the third season is a go.
The third season is a go. I don't know where they are in casting. Abe doesn't tell me shit. Everyone thinks that because, like, we're friends, he, like, tells me everything. He doesn't fucking tell me anything. Okay, that's number one.
By the way, he's coming on just so we can talk like jam bands and life. Like, we're like, let's not talk about Housewives or anything like that. Let's just talk about life, which he
doesn't know anything. Like,
also he's just like a fun, interesting guy. Like, I just like him as a guy.
No, he is, but like, he really like knows minimal. Like, trust me. Like, I've tried to like, finesse juicy tidbits out of him, and he's told me stuff here and there, but it's nothing like that the public doesn't eventually find out about, or that's that interesting. It's more interesting for the women who deal with the drama after the season wraps. That's what I think. And of course he's involved in that because of Erin. Like, I think that's where, and this from being a Housewives fan, all the drama goes down in the off season for a lot of these shows. And I think that New York is one of them. But no, I heard they're auditioning, and I have no idea who. So Lindsay could be. I would love to see her on.
Listen, you could be.
I've talked to them. I've said to Shed. It's Shed, right? Isn't it Shed Media?
Shed Media, yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I'm dying. And this was 2 years ago. I was like, I'm dying to audition. And they were like, oh my God, if you want to send in a tape. And then I thought about it. I was like, no, because talk about money. You get no money.
Yeah.
You get no money filming that.
And then any rumor that pops up during the season, you would be blamed on that. You would be blamed on all of it, even though that's not really even what you do, but you would be blamed for everything.
Oh my God. Are you kidding? I would annihilate half those women. Like, I have no tolerance for fucking.
Okay. Well, wait, now let's take it back. Now I actually kind of want this. Like, this would be great. You on Real Housewives of New York is actually kind of brilliant.
No, I'm not doing it. It's not.
And by the way, we blur your face in every scene, but we hear your voice. I mean, it's going to be a lot on the production budget, but if they can do it on The Last of Us, we can do it for Real Housewives of New York. And any truth of the rumors that you're going on the next Blue Origin space flight?
If it doesn't come back, yes. If it's a one-way ticket out of here, I'm on it.
Did you get any tips or anything about the space flight last week?
No, it was so.
Did Gayle King get in your DMs?
She did not, but did you see the conspiracy theories on TikTok, how people think it was fake?
Yeah, they have that fake. There's people swear it's a fake hand, and that the hair wasn't standing up like the actual astronaut. And I don't know, man. I just, if they I just don't have the bandwidth to like. I just don't. I don't know if I care. Like, if you want to fake it, fake it.
like I love how your bandwidth is getting like smaller and smaller.
It really is. Like, I love it so much. Like, I love pop culture so much, but it's like, man, like, we can't fucking make everything a conspiracy. Like, something's got to be real eventually.
100%. I 100% agree with you. And also, like, you know, when you're doing these podcasts and you're on a radio show and doing a podcast, like, you can never turn off.
That's the thing, is that's I think I'm watching more scripted, or I'm like trying to get more silence in, because it's just a lot. I mean, there's just a lot of noise. And, you know, even with like the Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds of it all, I just had to tap out at a certain point, because I was like, well, let's let the courts decide, you know, because just was getting.
That's what I said weeks ago. And
so vicious.
It's vicious.
And which is weird, but I don't know. I don't think I had the strength to continue talking about it, if that makes sense.
I do think that it has died down a little bit. Do you see that?
But yeah, I've seen it a little bit, but I think it'll kick back. You know, there'll be moments where it'll kick back up, and then, you know, May, you've got the Diddy trial starting, and then it's not till March till the Blake Lively Baldoni trial, if that goes to trial. So, I mean, there's a lot in the meantime, but, you know, it's like rabid dog sometimes after a tiny piece of information that comes out every week, and I'm just like, eventually, I don't know. Like, I'm curious what the courts will do with this.
Oh, with the whole case, you mean?
Yeah, with the whole case. I mean, I just don't know.
I'm curious as well.
It's like, yeah, okay, let's hate Blake Lively, or let's hate Justin Baldoni. But like, what do the courts say? Like, will there be any kind of clarity on what actually went down?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Something tells me probably not, but
yeah.
We'll
fun. And then the Max show, based on your best-selling book, are we moving forward with that? Is this are we pausing, or is there any news on the Max show?
It's not going to be on Max anymore. So what happened with the show is that it took so long to get a script written because of the strike. So by the time a script was written, and Max was able to review it, they were like, this, you know, we don't want to make the show. It's not like what we're looking for. Because I don't know if you've ever had to deal with this process, but if you go from streamer to streamer, they're very specifically looking for whatever genre show they want to make that particular month. So because I think it took so long for it to come out when they had originally committed to making the show, by the time the script was written 2 years later, they were like, we don't want to make this show anymore. So
how dare you, David Zaslav? How dare you?
So we had to pivot. So right now it's at a pivot.
So does that mean Hulu, Netflix, or we're mid pivot?
Yeah, mid pivot. We're pivoting. Okay. So we'll see. But
because I have rehearsed my line as the barista of like, hey, Trenti latte, here's your Trenti latte.
I didn't forget that you want to be a barista.
Anyways, we're going to put all of the links, all of this. I mean, truly, I think you are one of the foundational elements of pop culture still. And it is always a joy to talk to you, because I just genuinely like you as a person. And thank you for doing what you do. And we're going to keep supporting. And also, I always ask you about this. The best shorts I ever got was from one of her merch drops, and I wore those things just ground them down over, like, I wore that thing inside and out, and it lasted a good long time. But any new merch drops coming up?
No, I took a break from doing merch drops because the company that I worked with basically went bankrupt and didn't pay me for a whole drop. So it really turned me off to doing merch and working with merch companies. So I've been on kind of like a little bit of break, and what I'm selling.
Sorry to bring that up.
It's okay. Anyways, listen, people
good while it lasted.
No, people need to know, because if you're an influencer or you're a creator and you get approached by these merch companies, you really have to do your homework on who you decide to work with, because first of all, they could, basically rob you blind, not, with their splits and what they're charging you. And secondly, you could be in my position where the company went bankrupt. I didn't get paid out for a whole drop.
Jeez, and that's big.
It was a really bad experience. So it kind of took the wind out of my merch sales and I stopped making new merch. So what I'm selling now, I have very limited quantity. I think we only have like 100 units total of everything is old merch. So once I sell that out, I'm going to reevaluate. But no, nothing's
I went.
planned
They
right
had, they had like the only size small in the shorts.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man. And I have
It's
huge, gigantic legs, so it just won't work.
It's all old stuff. So I'm just trying to, get rid of that and then reevaluate. But if you guys are out there and you're thinking about making merch, just like do your homework is my advice.
Do your homework, guys. That's the thesis to this show every day.
Yeah.
Do your homework, and thank you, guys. And also, I know this goes without saying, but I always tell the audience, even though she has a huge podcast, make sure you rate it 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I know that always seems like so ridiculous to say, but just because somebody's a big entity doesn't mean that they're doing the fan base is doing the small things. So if we can go in there and just rate a bunch of 5 stars, that would be awesome, and it makes sure that Deuxmoi will keep coming on for years to come. So go out and do that for her as well. And I just keep on keeping on.
Thanks, Ryan. It was so nice talking to you. Let's not go this long without talking again.
Exactly, Dew. Exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.